Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a lion's mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11 we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
That's right. Good afternoon. It is Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B. And we have the breaking news because, let's face it, the biggest news happened right here in Detroit this morning, about an hour ago. Aiden Hutchinson, 4-year extension worth $181 million and $141 guaranteed. Second highest defensive end at an average per year of $45 million. Until we see the actual breakdown, you don't know the actual cap hit. We know how Brad Holmes and Matt Dunstall work. They get it done. It will be less than that average per year as a cap hit, with probably a balloon year in year 3 or year 4. Might even have some void years to keep the cap lower. That's what they do. So let's see what happens. Just like next year, more than likely, we're going to restructure and take $29 million off of golf cap hit to clear more cap, to do more re-signings and get more players. What up, though? Lions scored big with this deal and did not reset the market like Crosby and Parsons and Miles. Actually, he makes more than Miles and Watt. Parsons reset the market to where it was over $45 million a year. He's getting 47, so this is $2 million less. And that it's kind of what Brian Arndt, BA, and I talked about right after the JMO extension when it happened. We said it would be around 43 to 45 million. He'd make either as much as Watt or a little bit more, but less than Parsons. So anybody that says that I said hometown discount, I didn't think so. I thought that the market was right about 45 million for Hutch, and that's where it breaks down on the average per year. In other news, the Bears signed CJGJ to their roster. The Vikings signed John Wolford, former Ram, former AAF quarterback, former Jacksonville Jaguar backup, to their practice squad. It doesn't move the needle for me. I think it'll be either JJ. I think they said JJ is starting this week, but Max Brosmer has been elevated to the active roster with Carson Wentz going on the IR for the season. The highest paid is Micah Parsons to the Packers at $47 million per year with his extension. Yes, buddy Kinkito. I cue up the music. Yes, it is awesome. And we did say it would happen after the bye week, and the bye week just finished. Look what happened. We did it. Here it is Wednesday, and the deal is done. I love it. You know, it's nice when, smart people make a prediction that comes true. Yeah, first it was Crosby, then it was Miles, then it was Watt. Let me get that. I'll tell you the exact order. Give me just 1 second. Yes, Ricky Sakat is in the house. They are not the highest paid. No, Steve. Uh, Let me get my camera off. Okay, the highest paid is 46.5 million for Parsons. Then it's 45 million for Aiden Hutchinson, 41 million TJ Watt, 40 million Miles Garrett, 35.6 Daniil Hunter of the Texans, Max Crosby of the Raiders, 35.5, Nick Bosa, 34 for the 49ers. That's your top 7 right there. Yes, I'm happy for Hutch too. We knew he was going to get paid. I said 43 to 45. I'm pretty sure. And it looks like the Broncos just signed Mercedes Lewis, 41-year-old tight end. So that's some of the moves that are made. The Patriots made 2 trades yesterday, but next week is the deadline. Kyle Duggar to the Steelers, and then one of their defensive ends went to, with Nick Bosa being out for the season, making half that money on the IR, they shipped somebody to 49ers. For who? All the elite edge rushers that have contracts coming up. Who else was drafted that year with Hutch? Because Micah Parsons was drafted the year before, if you remember right. He was in his 5th-year option this year. Right. According to the numbers, he's either second or first in most pressure categories. If you look at his stats for when he's on the field. Um, Last year was an anomaly with that broken leg. That was a very weird break. It's something that don't normally happen in the NFL. But if you look, Aiden Hutchinson's numbers are right up there with Parsons, Watt, Garrett, Hunter, Crosby, and Bosa in pressure rate. He's happy he got paid. I don't think he's happy with his team's success. There's a big difference there with Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett's a football player first and foremost. Oh, coffee tastes so good when things go the way I predict. Mhm. At the end of that, why isn't Henderson getting paid? Because he's already 33 years old. He's on a team that has no defense around him. Think about it. They just gave up 39 points to the Jets, to Justin Fields and Brees Hall, who haven't put up those type of numbers all year. So what they did was made him a $30 million man by giving him 50 million. I don't think Anzalone gets paid. They gave him more money this year just so he'd play. Yes, Bill, I've been talking about it the entire show already. Burrow is getting around 55 million per year. He's up there with the Love, Trevor Lawrence, um, Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. They're all up there in that 50-ish million. So until we see the signing bonus breakdown and everything, we don't know what the actual cap hit is for Hutchinson. All we know is it's an APY, which is average per year. Yeah, so you got Chase, Higgins, and Burrow taking up over 45% of your cap going forward. That's why Hendrickson is not getting his extension. They'll let him walk next year, but who knows? At turning 34, he may retire unless he manages somehow to keep his numbers up, and some team gets desperate enough to say, "Hey, that's a good guy for a playoff push for a year," because I don't think he's going to get more than 1 year contract going forward at going on 34 years old next season, and I don't think he deserves more than 1 year going forward. If you think about it, age wise, because at any minute it could be that career ending injury. Soft tissue injuries happen all the time, and almost everybody has either that split turf or some type of turf. So it is what it is. No, are you going to sign somebody for 2 years for what he did in the past and have him not be able to complete the contract? It's too detrimental because he's going to garner in that Miles Garrett, TJ Watt range automatically. We got another 2 years to work on Gibbs. It's Laporta, Branch, and Campbell that'll be next. Right. What is who's Angelo? I don't know who Angelo is. That name doesn't ring a bell. Burrow resigned 2 years ago. Jamar Chase was last year, and this year Higgins. That's why they couldn't afford to give Henderson more than they did. Oh, Anzalone? He didn't get re-signed. He got money added. He went from 6.3 to the same amount of money that Derek Barnes get, which is what he was upset about because Derek Barnes got extended. So we actually gave him 8.5 million, I believe, and with incentives he can make upwards of 10.5. No, because we can't afford a 30 million guy. He got a $15 million raise. Everybody thinks it's just 15 million he got. No, he got a $15 million raise. Um, and the more cap you use up this year, the less you got to roll. Uh, Terrion Arnold is back. We just cut Kendall Fuller yesterday or the day before to make room on the roster because Rodrigo may even be playing this week, but it's more than likely week 11 is their target to get him back. And if I remember right, week 11 is the Eagles in Philly. This week is Minnesota, next week is Washington, then it's the Eagles, then back home to play the Giants, and then it's the Packers in week 13. But let's get this queued up here because you know what? I'm tired of not having the music. I've been saying no ever since the beginning. If he was willing to play for a lesser amount of money, yes. Sounds like a bunch of window. And that window means game shape ready. Yes. And he played full pads all week by Arnold and the other guy that got promoted to his window was Dan Thomas, the safety. Oh, sorry, a super easy one, week 13. As long as we wear the blacks, I agree. If we go back to the historic throwbacks, I think we lose because we consistently lose in those. Last year, we won in the Motor City muscle. I want to stay in that mode. But yes, I am wearing my Hutch jersey because the deal got done, and it got done when we predicted it. I say the same thing, but it's up to the coaches. If they think he's ready, he'll be put out there. Exactly. I mean, Washington is not a slouch. They're just going through a rough time. Jaden Daniels may be back next week. Marcus Mariota is not the guy. But for all of you out there that came in and I didn't have the music, here you go. It's back. So happy we got the deal done. I'm waiting for more contract details for the breakdown. That usually takes a day or two. It may not even be till next Tuesday because that's when Sport Track and Over the Track update their contract details. So I want to see the breakdown per year, and I'll get into it in detail then. Right now, all we know is 181 million, 141 guaranteed, the highest amount for any non QB since Parsons. That's what did get set. We gave him more guaranteed money, but it's still not 100% guaranteed contract. Well, think about it. All and the second rounders and leaders we need to resign. So I am just a part of the show that had a meter in a bad minute. There you go, man. For you. God, I want to take that shot of whiskey now as a celebratory shot for signing Hut when I said we would. I don't know if you remember Motown, but back at the beginning of the season when you first started getting really active when I was with the huddle and after the JMO signing, I Hutch would be done by the bye week, and I said 40 to 45 per year is what it would be. It would be less than but more than one. Something I said immediately. Yeah, I don't see them extending them either. Well, they might want to go to Arizona because they have a starter on the roster, or to the Saints, but that would be the killer. Let them do the Cleveland Browns thing. Because let's face it, the fail cants have been playing down to the level of their competition. They're losing to bad teams. They lost. They got blanked by Carolina, and then they just got whooped by the Dolphins. Right, right, exactly. And Campbell has taken over the green dot well. He's been doing it all year. I think he's leading the team in tackles or second in tackles right now. That's probably to put him on display for the bye week trade for the trade line. I'm sorry. I think Penix line protection. To not be on that game. He won't take a pay cut. He whined because he was only making $6 million this year and had to be raised to 8.5. If he was to take a pay cut, he'd have just done his job in the last year of his contract. He would not come to camp and actually practice. He was a hold-in. Remember, he held in. He didn't out. He held in. He was there. Wasn't practicing. I think Laporte and Branch. I actually think Branch will get support Laporte. Unfortunately, I think the other way around. Because Laporta, I don't know, something's off. Looks like Lamar Jackson finally comes off the bench this week. Looks like James Franklin is going to the Virginia Tech Hokies. That's my prediction because Branch was a second team All Pro. So, there is that, as well as a two-time Pro Bowler. He keeps having setbacks. They keep pushing it back. Week 8, now it's probably looking like week 12. If he's not back by week 12, he'll be out for the season. Is the designation that'll happen. Davenport is in the facility, but his activation window hasn't been up yet. Ahmad Hassanin has made an appearance in the building. No, I don't. I'm going by his body language and the way he talks when he's in the pressers. I haven't seen anything where it looks like he wants to check out. Where I said that last year about this time with AG, that his mannerisms were different than the previous 2 years in pressers. I think he's happy where he's at. He loves this team. He talks about it being family, and family don't back out on. He said these words just the other day. Family doesn't back out on family. So I don't see that yet, and I'm not going to entertain it. It's all rumors because he graduated from there. They just want him there. He's a lot. Offensive and defensive coordinator makes usually more than a new rookie head coach in college. So there's that too, because yes, they get a lot of money in the back end, but if you look, it's mostly in sentence. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Anzalone's going to retire after this year. He'll be going on 32 years old, maybe 33. I can't remember exactly how old he is. I know he's getting up there. Yeah, Keon White was the defensive end that went to the 49ers in a pick swap. New England gets a 6th round for a 2026 7th rounder and White. To 49ers. And I think he likes being a coach in the NFL. If it was a head coaching job in the NFL, maybe. And I agree, Shep needs to stay. He needs the experience. It's his first year as a defensive coordinator. And yes, we do look tremendously better than we did last year at this time. in my opinion. Yeah, the Keon White trade here, that makes a lot of sense for the 49ers because face it, both is out for the year. Bryce Huff and Yunner Gross Matos have also missed a lot of time lately for them. They needed the help. And the other one was Kyle Duggar, went to the Steelers. Yeah, he's still learning too. I mean, he was a passing game coordinator and he was an assistant passing game coordinator the year he was here. And he was the passing game coordinator for the Broncos. He wasn't the offensive coordinator. This is his first year as the actual offensive coordinator. He's going through some growing pains too. And I said that might happen. But at the same time, on the road in Baltimore, missing key pieces, what did we do? We put up 38. The only thing, and guess what? The same person was missing in that game as was missing in the game 2 years ago with Ben Johnson in Baltimore when we got out in our 12-5 season. We scored 6 freaking points with Ben Johnson's great offense against that defense. Now, granted, Ravens defense is not that good this year, but at the same time, there has to be something said about the difference in scoring with the same exact skill players. My latest game preview is up on Facebook, Twitter, and on the South Florida Tribune. All you have to do, that leads to a certain article about the bye week I thought was hilarious. I wrote up. So please take a gander at it. I think we're going to be fine. I haven't heard if Van Ginkel is coming in, is playing this week or not. I know Cashman is back. He was back last week. Didn't make a difference. Yeah, it is. They're going to miss Darisaw and another one of them, and I think that's going to bode bad for JJ. If it was a trap game, we don't know what you got in. You really don't know what you got there in JJ McCarthy. He's had 2 good quarters out of 6 out of 8 quarters played. Um, I will say he hasn't been horrible, but he hasn't been good. Great. Man, what a great day to be a Lions fan, right? Yep, don't look past. And that's one thing we don't do. I still think that first down, that first touchdown that happened, that got taken off the board in Kansas City was the main reason why the whole offense fell apart. The defense didn't play good because we couldn't stay on the field. There was a plethora of reasons. I'm not going to blame it on the bullshit stuff. Yeah, we don't underestimate. We take each week seriously. That's what I love about this team. What I love about Dan Campbell. I haven't seen any more moves as far as putting people down to the practice squad or anything lately. So I don't think Rodrigo is there, but I know that Zach Cunningham was cleared to get somebody back on the active roster this week. Yeah, it's true. Let's face it. That's what knocked us out last year was injuries. Um, I don't think there's any more this year. I think next year is where you'll see something done. Probably Branch and Laporta. I say left tackle. I think our draft position need is left tackle at this point. Maybe a center, but I think the move is because Ratledge is still taking some snaps at practice at center, is putting him there and then moving forward with him. That's just me. I think that's what they're going to do. They're hoping for Miles Frazier to come back soon. CB's help. Terry on Arnold's back this week. Reed is anywhere between the next 2 weeks. He'll be back. Uh, so I'm not going to. I don't know if we trade for anybody. I think left tackle is our biggest need. Remember, we got Reed for a couple of years. So I'm really not too worried about it. It's one more year with Robertson too. We signed him to a 3-year deal when we got him because he was a free agent. Yasin wasn't hurt. He had just had cramps. He's back. Right. Because don't forget, Miles Frazier is a guard. Ratledge already took snaps at center this year. So I think that's the goal with him moving forward. I just think that because they raved about how well he was getting the grasp of it and then switched to Glasgow, and I think it's just because he had more in game. I believe Yasin was just a 1 year rental. Um, he wasn't signed to anything long. That's why I think we get Branch done first out of everybody. That has to be done right away. It's going to be Branch and Laporta. Campbell, they can accept the 5th-year option on. Gibbs, they can accept the 5th-year option on last year. That way they can work on it in season instead of having to rush it. Just like they did with Sewell, with JMO, with Hutchinson. So that's basically the news. There isn't a lot out there. I will have the injury report from today later for tonight. I'm so happy we got the deal done. I can care less what anybody else thinks about it. I care less what the teams in the rest of the division think about it. It's right where I predicted it would be. So I'm not going to whine. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to say we overpaid. I said 9 weeks ago that it would happen right after the bye week, and it did. So it is what it is. And I said 43 to 45 million is where it would be. It'd be less than Parsons, more than Watt. The difference is Laporta is playing much better than the last time than TJ Dropinson. We traded him away. So I think it'll be Branch next, then Laporta, because they're the ones whose contracts are up at the end of next season. That's why I said that. Yeah, we talked about it ad nauseum right after JMO's extension that I said it would get done at this point of the year. And for this, basically at the high end of the exact money I said. So I am not upset at all with this extension. Kind of ecstatic about it. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before, because that's the only way to make the world a better place. It's right here. And remember, it's not how you start the year, it's how you finish that makes the difference. This has been Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B, and we will see you tomorrow. There will be no show Friday. I think he hasn't been utilized enough or targeted enough. We'll talk about this tomorrow. But have a great day, everybody. But I won't be doing a show Friday because I have family from out of state in town, and we're going to visit a sick family member. So we'll see you tomorrow.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.